Hello, welcome to United by Red. We apologise we missed last week. Somebody went on holiday again, and it wasn't the man in the cold wet of England. It was the man on the other side of the world.
Yeah, I mean, while you're on that subject, I'm also away after today as well. So,
Well, I was going to come on to that because you're away for a specific reason, so we'll talk about that in a little
we'll
bit.
cover that later.
What I want to start with is football. And I'm smiling.
I don't think I've seen any this weekend. Has anyone played? Is it international break?
Well, you haven't played. You turned up to a football pitch and lost to Brentford 3-1. You like
Only
playing
just 3-1. I mean, to be fair, the fact that it was only 3-1, it was a bit of a blessing. Yeah, I think had it been 5-1, we couldn't have complained.
I mean, silly season has started, obviously, because Graham Potter's lost his job after 4 days. And I know we've covered this subject round and round in circles until the cows have come home and we've both got our opinions on it. Amarin's time has to now surely be limited. It's not getting any better. There's nothing really changing. You're losing games to teams that really, if you've got any aspirations of going forward, you can't lose. So what's the point?
Well, I go back to where I've been before of, yep, I'm totally fine with people saying it doesn't work. But can anyone give me a sensible solution to this? Because we've had Mourinho, we've had Van Gaal, we've had Carrick, we've had Van Nistelrooy, we've had Solskjaer, we've had Eric Ten Hag, we've had Amarin. And through every manager, one thing that's consistent is we're getting worse. Yeah, we're worse than we were 5 years ago, we're worse than we were 8 years ago, and we're now worse than we were 2 years ago. Should never have sacked Ten Hag. Said that on here live, it's recorded, someone can find it on the internet. Should have never sacked him because it wasn't the problem. We can sack Amarin tomorrow, and I do believe that there's a good chance that it could go, especially with how things are at the moment and the fact that we've got 32 points from 35 Premier League games. We're 3 Premier League games away now from completing a complete season. If we win one, lose one, draw one, we'll finish on 36 points for a 38-game haul.
Stretch.
Which would be relegation fodder, wouldn't it, basically? So the argument's there, and I can't argue against it. All I can say from my point of view is sacking Amarin will not change our fortunes. So because we've proven that over the last 6 managers, it's not going to change what happens to the club going forward over the next year or two, sacking the manager. We may pick up some better results. We may finish 8th instead of finishing 14th. But what's the difference? 8th or 14th is still shit and you don't get anything for it, do you? We're not going to challenge for Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues anytime in the next few years. So, yeah, I think my problem is I saw a bit yesterday where he decided to adapt a little bit more. We went to a back 4 late on. It was too late by then. But again, it's all right blaming the manager, but the first goal, what's Harry Maguire doing? He's trying
Being Harry Maguire
3 yards inside his own half when the ball's already going over his head. Is that the manager's fault?
No.
You might say, okay, why was Harry Maguire one-on-one with their defender? But did the manager tell us to be like that? Does anyone know? I don't know, but does anyone know? I don't believe that Amarin said, I'm going to leave Harry Maguire one-on-one with Thiago, or whatever he's called. The second goal, the ball goes over the head of De Ligt, who turns left, then turns right, then turns left again. And by then, the player's got the ball and ran past him and scored. The keeper makes a decent save. It could probably do better on the second attempt. Luke Shaw doesn't follow his man in. Is that the manager's fault again? I go back to when Ten Hag got sacked and Diego Dallo went through on goal against West Ham with an open net and put it into the top stand. Is that Ten Hag's fault? And again, there just seems to be so many players that aren't playing well enough and aren't playing as good as they should. And it's not one player. 1 week it'll be him, and the next week it'll be him, and the next week it's him and him. We don't get 11 players that turn up every week and go and play well. Now, yes, the manager's got to bear the brunt of it. I understand that. But those first 2 goals yesterday are totally preventable. Whether you're playing 3 at the back, 4 at the back, and 8 at the back, whatever they are, they're totally preventable by just being a footballer, just having a football brain and playing. Why would you step up from there and try and play him offside? It's ridiculous. When Jordan Henderson's got the ball and you're Harry Maguire, 2 things. One, you're slow. And 2, if it goes over your head, you're done for because there's too much ground. There's not enough. There's too much gap between you and the goalkeeper. So the first thing you've got to do is just make sure he doesn't get past you. Don't let him beat you. If you've got to drop off, drop off. But at least be there, the right side of him, to at least attempt to tackle. If he goes past you, he goes past you. But to step up there was just, and that's a split-second decision by a supposed international footballer. Amorim can't be legislated for that. And I just go back to time and time again, players making poor decisions and doing things wrong. And we can keep blaming the manager and sacking him. But proof is, I can give you 12 years of proof that won't change the fortunes of Manchester United. And I'm not saying I agree with everything he's doing. I'm not defending him. I'm just trying to make the situation seem sense that it won't change if we sack him. We will come to this. I said this to you when they sacked Ten Hag. 12 months from now, we'll be sitting here on this podcast and I'll be telling you that nothing's changed. And I'm sat here now saying it. And 12 months from now, I'll be saying the same, right? A little bit grayer. And we'll be in the same position. Because we will. It's not going to change.
What you're actually saying is, and this is probably a first, you have predicted something correctly. Well done, you.
Correctly kind of by predicting that nothing had happened, technically.
Yes. You basically said everything would carry on as it was, and it did.
They signed Amorim knowing that he played 3-5-2, 4-5-4, whatever you want to call the tactic, right? He's there now, he's bought his players. There's no point booting him out because nothing's going to change, right? We've just got to ride through it and stick to it. We've got to go with what we've gone with now. We've gone down this path and we've got to stick to it. And it may get worse. I don't know. I do genuinely think they may well sack him. I do think that it's going to happen. But I just don't see who comes in. From an outsider's point of view, who can you think? Because for me, I'd have had Thomas Frank. Well, he's gone. Glasner from Palace, possibly. Is he going to come? His stock's rising. He's got Palace second currently in the league. He's just gave Liverpool the run around, absolutely battered them for 90 minutes. Why would he come to Man United? It can only go bad for him, can't it?
I can kind of see you doing the ridiculous thing of thinking, "Oh, Potter's out of a job," or you're going to do something ridiculous.
I mean, if you're going to bring Potter in, you might as well just not have a manager. We might as well just let the lunatics totally run the asylum, aren't they? But I can't think of a manager that I look at and think, well, maybe he could make the difference. We've gone for Mourinho, the experienced one, and Van Gaal. We've gone for Solskjaer, the baby of Manchester. Everyone's a love child of Manchester. The striker that scored all the goals. We've gone for, who do we go for? Carrick? Is Carrick the answer?
No.
To me, that doesn't make sense. I can't think of a manager in world football right now that is going to come and we'd want to come without plucking another genius out of Europe that no one's ever heard of, like, from Amorim's point of view, just, forced him out of Sporting. Who do we get? Because I can't think of anyone. And I've racked my brains. If I could genuinely, if someone said to me, he's available, let's just take, for instance, let's just say Klopp was available and would come to Man United, I'd say fine. If that's what you think's the answer and you can see a path, fine. But you can't just sack a manager without knowing who's coming in and having a reason for bringing the other guy in. Otherwise, we're just going around in circles again. So
yeah, it's a never.
It's hard to watch. I thought we were decent. I've said this before. I thought we were decent in certain games this season. I thought we were horrendous against Brentford. I thought we were so bad. We looked so lacklustre going forward. We were a man light in midfield, and by the time we'd realised we were a man light in midfield, which is the manager's fault, he's got to take the blame. By the time he'd realised we were a man light in midfield, we were already out of the game. And at the point where we thought we might get back into the game, it was too late. We were, it was gung ho. We've got 95 strikers on the pitch, and we were just going for it. He's got to bear the brunt of that one. The tactics are struggling to work, and in a game there where we were overrunning midfield, he didn't adapt early enough. Half time for me, he needed a third man in midfield and one less defender on, and it took him till 70 odd minutes to decide that.
But then you did get back in the game, and you then had a penalty, which again took 4.5 minutes between the award of and the taking of, because we're going to decide that a man 8 yards from goal being pulled down isn't stopping a clear goal scoring opportunity. So isn't a red card?
It's not a red card because he's not in control of the ball.
Well, he can't be in control of the ball because he's being pulled to the floor.
He's on the floor. And if he was in control of the ball, he'd have scored. And at no point do you have to be in control of the ball. That is not a rule, as Sky Sports have quite clearly pointed out. There's no law that says you must be in control of the ball. If you're running through on goal from the halfway line and the ball goes over the top and the defender cleans you out, you're not in control of the ball. The ball's 5 yards in front of you. Still a red card. Stop to clear goal scoring opportunity.
I mean, if I turn around and punch you when you're not in control of the ball, are we saying that's no longer a red card because you're not in control of the ball?
Again, we've gone to this point now. The referee has made an error. It's a red card. And I'm a Man United fan. I may have been biased, but everyone I've spoke to, everyone on Sky Sports, everyone on social media, it's a red card. It's a red card. But VAR then still get it wrong. So what's the point in them?
Of course they get it wrong.
If it goes to VAR and they say it's stopped a clear goal scoring opportunity. I mean, he's in the penalty box and there's the only other player there. So it's a clear goal scoring opportunity. I mean, it can't be any clearer, can it?
No.
If VAR then overturn it, you'd say refs had a stinker. But VAR's at least done its job. And I don't agree with VAR. But then for VAR to agree with him, I'm thinking, we've found the only two people on the planet that don't think it's a penalty, and they both happen to be refereeing the Man United game. And let's just say, I don't think it changes the outcome of the game. We were rubbish. And even at 10 men, I think Brentford probably can hold out. We might have got a point, but we didn't deserve it. I'm not trying to say it changes the game, but they have to get those decisions right. That's no excuse. God, yeah. That's just... There's no excuse with VAR for that to not have been got right. I mean, there's 3 this week. There's 4 this weekend I can think of, and I haven't watched all the football. There's the Man United one. There's the Kung Fu kick in the Chelsea game, which turns out not to be a penalty, even though he's got his foot in his eye. There's the handball Salah when Liverpool score.
Doesn't touch it.
What?
I don't think he touches it.
Well, according to them, according to PJ Muller, they said he touches it, but it's not a big enough impact on the ball to divert it away from where it was going. So let's just say he doesn't touch it or does touch it. I'll not argue that fact, but I'll argue with the reasoning is ridiculous. The fact that he said ridiculous. He has touched it, but the ball hasn't been diverted along its course enough to have had an impact. Exactly. And then there's the what's the other one I was thinking? So there's a Man U one, there's the Chelsea one, there's the Liverpool handball, and there was one more that I now can't think of because I've ranted on for that long. What was the other one?
I don't know, but the Chelsea one I find really ridiculous because we'll give penalties for handball for arms being in slightly unnatural positions. A foot round somebody's head is definitely an unnatural position for a foot.
It was in a position where VAR can review it as they can. What have they said? Well, it's all right. He's just kicked him in the head. Oh, that's natural. How? What is his foot doing up there? If your foot is above 90 degrees from your body, right, you are committing a foul. But can I just say? Because your foot shouldn't be up there. Hit him in the head. I mean, I don't get it. It was just a farcical. It's just all weekend again, aren't we? We seem to be, like I say, we've passed the book now from the referee to a guy in a box who's just making horrendous decisions. Doesn't even seem to understand the law of the game. It's just pathetic.
It's like it's just become a comedy sketch now, and they all just do it because they think it's funny. And it's how badly can we get them wrong, and then how ridiculous reasons can we come up with them?
I mean, and for me, they're so obvious.
Yeah,
these aren't difficult decisions, are they?
I watched Match of the Day this morning, and I didn't think he touched it. Now, if they're saying he has,
I think he touched it. But it's just the reasoning to me that makes no sense. It's like the Man United one, isn't it? It's the reasoning.
Yeah.
If you make an error,
PGMOL are going to say he touched the ball.
Yeah, but didn't divert the ball.
Well, that's like saying if I hit you in the face, but I've not diverted you. It's ridiculous. I'm just thinking, it's like the Man United. So he didn't have control of the ball, right? So where's the law that says he has to have control of the ball? And if that's the fact, can we go back through all the rest of the season? Because there's been multiple red cards where people are going through on goal where they've not even touched the ball. Exactly.
Going through to get the ball. That's the whole point. The pass was there for him to get. Now, if you were going to say the ball was too far away from him, he was never going to get it, okay. But is that still a reason not to give that? It's still a foul, and he's still not trying to play the ball. Anywhere on the pitch, if you're running down the wing and the ball's on the other side and somebody takes you out, it's a foul. You're not going to get the ball. It's still a foul. So I don't get the reasoning. Also, just frustrates me because it's almost like they're trying to justify the fact that they're fucked up by making up a rule on the spot and saying, "Oh, well, he weren't in control of the ball." And so what? It's just not a rule. And I'm just like, and it's every week, isn't it?
And since when has a handball ever mattered how much you've diverted the ball?
Didn't divert the ball enough, and I'm like, well,
I've never known handball matter
and?
how far you've knocked it.
So is that what we're
Ever.
going to start saying now? So it's distance from the ball, it's angle of the arm, and it's diversion after impact. I mean, we're going to need a protractor and fucking pi root squared this, figuring this out. Now it's going to be like a fucking maths exam. I mean, it's fucking stupid. And like I say, there's such simple decisions, aren't there? The Salah one isn't. I get that. And let's be honest, if you don't know, you don't give it, do you? If there's no
No.
conclusive evidence to say it definitely is harm, you can't give it. That's fine.
But
Don't come out and say something stupid like that after, because that's just a fucking farce, isn't it? Yeah. The others are clear. The Pedro one, he kicks him in the head, and you've got 95 replays to look at it. What I mean, all you've got to ask yourself is: should his boot be there? No, because that's where his eyes are, and his boot shouldn't be where his eyes are unless he's laid down. So it's a penalty.
Yeah.
And it's lucky that they didn't, like I say, I don't think the Brentford one impacts the game. It probably made the game a bit easier for us. We'd have had more of the ball. We may have scraped a draw. I don't think we're going to win the game, so I don't think it impacts it too much. And Brighton went on and won anyway. So
And so did Crystal Palace.
Point of view. But it's just a case of they should be getting these right. There's no excuse for not getting these right now. They've got a man watching everything that they do, and they're reviewing everything, aren't they? You know, that's what happened at Man U game, and it's like it's at VAR. And I'm like, what for? There's nothing happened. Why are we waiting again? And the time, 11 minutes. I know the Palace one was different because something happened in the stands, didn't it?
Yes.
But the time we've had on this weekend, we got in 10. There was 11 minutes in the Chelsea second half that played 13. There was 11 in the Palace game. There was 8 in the Man U one half and 7 in the other. I mean, we're playing literally an extra 15 to 20 minutes a game, while some idiots reviewing a decision and still getting it wrong. I mean, why did it take 4 minutes for Bruno's penalty?
Because they were checking the red card, so they spent 4 minutes deciding whether that was a red card or not.
But can I just make a startling bit of to buy them some time? Why didn't they just let them take the penalty? Because you can't do anything after a penalty now, can you?
Because you can't.
Why?
Because once you've restarted the game, i.e. kicked the ball, VAR can no longer get involved. So they can't continue to review the red card with the ball in play.
Right. Oh, well. That wasn't a great idea then, were it?
No. Or they could just change the rule. Be a lot easier. But there's a reason why football's in the terrible mess that it's in. And this is something we were going to discuss last week that I came across. But while we're discussing the mess that is football, English grassroots football is going to go through some significant changes over the next 2 years.
I forgot we hadn't talked about this.
We've decided that, in the infinite wisdom of the Football Association, that children under the age of 8 can no longer play more than 3-a-side football because, I don't know, maths, Pythagoras, triangles,
Maybe
I don't know.
Something to do with the climate. It'd be something to do with global warming, won't it? They blame that on everything.
We're not going to have goalkeepers. They're going to train but not play. So good luck being a goalkeeper if you're a child in this country, because you're going to be sidelined because you're no longer deemed worthy, necessary. And we're going to start all games with a high five and play rock, paper, scissors to see who gets the kickoff. Following which, there will be no referees. There will be no fouls. If you score a goal, you've got to run back to your own net and touch the post before you can kick the ball. If you don't, it's a penalty, even though there's no referee. The penalty will be taken from the halfway line, but once kicked, the other team can run in and get it. So if you don't kick it hard enough, they can stop the ball going in. If they do stop the ball going in, you have to run back and touch your own goalpost before you can play the ball again. And all of this.
Okay, now.
And top it all off, once you've done all that, we won't keep score because keeping score is irrelevant in football at that age, apparently. I mean, I don't know how to dissect any of that. I don't know how to start with any of that.
By this time next summer, it'll be 60 years since England won anything.
It'll be more.
2026, 6.
Oh no, well you're right. Apologies. Yeah,
60 years, yeah. So it'll be 60 years since England won anything. Bringing these rules in what? When are these rules
26,
coming in?
27. So the start of the following season.
Oh, so this pretty much means unless this generation of footballers can win something, we will never win anything again, because we're basically saying until 8, they're not actually going to play football. So we're already 3 years behind most other nations. And I think it said something about under 14s may still be adapting this.
Under 14s is when you'll start to play 11-a-side. So before under 14, you won't play 11-a-side football.
So our footballers start learning to play football. This is going to include goalkeepers as well, because we're going to have no goalkeepers. At 13, we still won't have a goalkeeper in the country.
Oh no! It's a phased plan is what we do now. So under 7, I think it's under 7s or under 8s. You start at 3v3, then you go up to 5v5, then you go up to 7v7, and we're going to incrementally introduce rules into the game because we're now basically treating children like idiots. And apparently, they've done some of this because they've done extensive research. Now, the facts of the extensive research will blow you away because the research they've had to do to get to this conclusion must have taken NASA. If you
I don't
have
know
less,
any 5-year-olds have been playing 3v3 on a research basis.
oh no, there is, and apparently, if you have less players on the pitch, the ones on the pitch will get the ball more. Well, no fucking shit. That's not research, that's math.
But it's totally irrelevant, isn't it? Because when they actually come to play the game, they've got to play it with 11 people. So what have they learned? They've learned that they're better at 3v3 because they get the ball more, but when they play 11, they'll still get the same amount of balls they would have done anyway. Surely, the earlier you teach somebody to play 11v11, the better they will be as they get older. I mean, that's, you know.
There's something I'm now going to say which will upset certain parts of the world. They say it's because they want to give everybody a chance to play football and they want to get more people involved. Sorry, I totally fundamentally disagree with that principle. Football...
By reducing the amount of people that can play?
Apparently because 11v11s, some people don't like, so it's to get lots more games going. Football is about...
If you've got 3v3, you've got 6 people on a pitch. When you've got 11v11, you've got 22. So to have the same amount of people playing, you've got 4 games going.
Yes, this is the plan. So you turn a pitch into
the same amount of people.
Yep, and you have one match officiate, or whatever, they've given them a weird name, so they're not a referee because they're going to watch all the games, and they're there just to encourage the children who are going to decide their own rules, apparently. And it's going to be all inclusive and friendly and nice. Sorry, football's a professional sport. It's about finding the best of the best. We should be finding a kid at 6.
Like any sport is.
He's got talent. We need to
nurture him.
Yeah, not come down to this namby-pamby crap, pathetic, oh, let's all be inclusive and play together and high five before a football match. This is a competitive sport in the real world. This is not Disneyland. And I'm sorry, but it's just pathetic.
It is pathetic. And I mean, how are the pitches made up?
Oh, you cut a normal 7-a-side pitch into 4 pitches? Because and then the guy stands in the middle.
So who's funding all this? Because somebody's got to go out and rejig all the pitches. We're going to need 2 nets for each game. We've got to have 4 games just to get 22 people on a pitch. So we need 8 nets. Someone's got to put lines on a pitch, but then take them off when the pitch is being used full size.
They probably won't bother with lines because it's not important. We don't need rules.
If you're going to get 4 games on one pitch, you're probably going to need some sort of way of figuring out which fucking game's which. Otherwise, there's just going to be nets and people and kids running everywhere. It's going to be like a play area on a Saturday morning, isn't it? It's just going to be kids running. That's all that matters.
They're not keeping score, so don't worry that you don't understand what's going on because nobody's going to know.
Surely the pitman not keeping score means it's not actually a game.
Yes.
It's just a run around a pitch, which you could have done in your own back garden and didn't have to pay a subscription or fee or, subs. Yes. And we think this is going to make us better, do we?
No, I think it's going to make us a laughing stock because I think it's one of the most ridiculous principles I've ever heard in my sporting life.
It is. It's the most ridiculous thing ever known to man.
Talent.
The
And the
only
same-
way you get better at playing 11-a-side football is to practice playing 11-a-side football as much as possible.
Because here's the thing. So if a kid starts football at 5, that's when your really talented youngsters will start to probably get an interest in the game and will start doing things. So then for 2 years, they're going to build into an under-7s team, for instance, when this is going to start. And then you're going to say to them, just run around 3v3 with no rules. Why? Don't know. Do it.
Yeah. You can't score. You can't
You
foul.
can score, but you can't score from your own half because there's no goalkeeper, so that's banned. If you score from your own half, it's a penalty. But I don't know who's adjudicating this because there's no referee. So I don't know how that gets decided.
So the 5-year-olds are adjudicating their own game.
And if you're not going to play 11-a-side under 14s, which I'm pretty sure that's what it says, how are you going to teach them all positional play and formations and strategy in tactics?
I mean, the kid at Arsenal made his debut at 15 years and something days. So we've got about 18 months before he makes his debut to figure out football.
Yes.
That's going to work, isn't it? So everyone's going to be 27 when they make the debut when they make their England debut. By then, they'll all be over the hill. Like Ian Wright, won't they? I mean, obviously not the shining light for everyone. It does the epitome of where to go. So everyone's going to be 27 when they make the debut instead of 17 like they have been. And by the time they're 31, they're going to be too old to play. So they've got a 4-year England career, which means they get 2 tournaments, which means they'll win absolute fuck all because we don't.
It's just...
So all that happens here is all the foreign players get better and all the English players get worse.
No, so because 3v3 is going to encourage more tactical play.
In 5-year-olds.
I mean, 5-year-olds run around, chase the ball. Let's be honest. For the majority
that's all
of them,
they want. All they want to do is just chase the ball.
So yes, they'll see a lot more of the ball. But when they come home to the mums and the dads on a Sunday afternoon when they played the game, and they go, "How did you get on?" and they go, "Don't know, because there's no rules."
If they want to see a lot more of the ball, why don't they just play one-on-one basketball? Because then they'll always have the ball, won't they? I mean, that's not the aim of the game, is it? To have the ball. The aim is to win.
Give them a ball each. Problem solved.
Yeah. 11 on a side, 22 balls on the pitch. Everyone can have a ball then. Goalkeeper's going to be in trouble, but
yeah, there isn't one, so it's fine.
I mean, I grew up playing football from being as young as I can remember, and I never thought the system failed me in any way. I never thought, you know what we need here when I'm 7
goalkeepers.
There's no goalkeepers. I need you to remove 95% of the players. I need to make the pitch as tiny as possible. I need you to remove that referee, and I want you not to keep score, because that'll be really brilliant. You know, when I go to school on Monday morning, I say, how did you get on against, Chapel Town Juniors? I don't know. We don't score anymore. Hilarious. Brilliant. Fantastic.
Oh,
yeah, who won? Nobody won. Just all about taking part. We high-fived, had a kiss and a cuddle, and we all went home.
That right there, that's my biggest problem with it. It's all about the taking part. It's participation awards again.
That's all we do. That's the England.
And we don't need to keep score.
I've spoken to a guy in England who is a football manager, and when he had his award ceremony at the end of last season, he had to give an award to every player, and he was fuming. He said, because 90% of the players I've got are shit. He says, I can't say you can't have a manager's player anymore. You can't have most improved player because it's detrimental to 5-year-olds' mental health. They're running around just going mental. What's going on? When we went, the driving factor was you wanted to try and win. You wanted to win an award. You got an award for most goals scored. You got an award because you'd performed better this season than last season. You got a award for being the best player. What's wrong with that? It's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. You can't. So every player gets an award.
I can't. I'm really, really struggling to do this. And then while I'm on a rant, so I don't know if you've seen this, the Berkshire and Buckinghamshire FA have released new guidelines for what they believe are offensive terms in football that should be avoided. I don't know if my blood pressure can take this after what I've just ranted about, but here we go. If I stop speaking halfway through, I've had a heart attack, and somebody might call 999. So don't say "come on, lads." Say "come on, team," because "come on, lads" is offensive
to women that aren't playing.
Don't say linesman. Say assistant referee. Don't say Christian name, say given name. I'll give you them all and then you can respond to me. Don't say bring your wife, bring your partner. Don't say ladies and gentlemen, say hi all. Don't say guys, say everyone. Don't say mother, say parent/carer. Don't say, are you married with kids? Do you say, do you have any family joining you today? Because the other terms are offensive. Why do I exist in this country?
So the linesman, who is a man, is offended when I call him a linesman.
No, but if in case the linesman's a woman, we shouldn't say linesman because man is offensive apparently. I can't. I actually can't.
And if I want to know if you fetched your wife and your children, I can't ask you that. I've just got to ask you if you fetched any family with you. And then you'll go, yes. And I'll say, is your wife here?
Just,
what the fuck? How do I ask you if your wife's here then?
You can't say ladies and gentlemen, hi all. Well, if you're saying hi all, that would be ladies and gentlemen because that's what else is there? I mean,
according to Trump, that's all there is. So, I mean, I just don't understand how I can't ask you if your kids are here. Why have I got to ask you if your family's here? How do I get to the point of asking you if your kids are here? If I'm in charge of the team and I want to know if your kid's here to play, I have to ask if your family's here. And then you say, yeah, my family's here. There's my uncle and there's my brother. Well, where's your son? Because he's supposed to be playing football. Oh, he's not come. Oh, fantastic. We've gone a long way around to get to this, haven't we?
I've had 10 days of reading things about English football, and I look at it and go, is this just like a meme? Am I living in a comedy sketch and people just keep feeding me this to see how far they can push me before a break?
Remember, like when you bought an electronic device and on the back it had a really little button, you used to have to press it with a fork.
Reset
and it resets everything back to how you started. Someone needs to press that. Someone needs a big fork and go to the F8 and whack that button, hold it down for 10 seconds until light goes red, and we'll start again. Because it's broken. Something's malfunctioning, isn't it? Something's gone wrong somewhere. This shouldn't be happening. Is there a software update that we've missed? Are we on iOS 15 and we should be on iOS 22? Because what's gone on here? It's absolutely mental, isn't it?
I genuinely don't know. And if genuinely anything I've said in the last 10 minutes has offended someone, I don't care. This is all pathetic. Grow up. Literally grow up. Football is a professional sport played by the elite, as all professional sports are. Stop turning it into this ridiculous, over-politicized, bloody namby-pamby, awards for everybody. Let everybody play nicely together. Let's all high-five and sing Kumbaya in the corner. Sod off. Because I genuinely...
Can't ask where your dad is, because it might offend him if your dad's not here.
Genuinely, I'm beyond bored of all this crap.
It is. It's pathetic.
I might now calm down because my face has gone very red if you're watching this visually, because my blood pressure has just peaked, literally, to the point of, no, stop it. My God in heaven above.
So football's not going well at the minute?
Football's not going well, no. I mean, are we going to get to the point where we can't ask F1 drivers if they need tyres because that's offensive to rubber? I mean, where are we going?
Well, when they radio in, they're going to have to ask with the families there before they can speak to them, surely. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy.
It really is. But in better news, I'm going to move on from football before it actually sends me to an early grave. I've spent most of my sporting weekend not watching football, which is unusual for me.
I hope you're going to go where I hope you're going to go with this.
The Ryder Cup.
Yes. Well, you'll be very surprised to know that, because I've got somebody staying with me at the moment who's a massive golf fan. I've actually watched a lot of it. And it's the first time, I think, ever. And it's been absolutely unbelievable. I mean, probably because we're winning, it does help. But
it does, yeah.
It has been so good. I mean, I'm sort of flirting with playing golf at the moment, so it does help that I've got a basic interest in it. But some of the play has been sensational. The Americans are getting battered. You know?
And they're also losing their minds.
The Americans are sort of Man United right now, and Europe are Real Madrid. And then they decided that since they were losing, they'd be the most petulant children in the world and try and start a fight. With what I can only describe as a caddy that was the least likely man to have a fight in the world. And had he said anything else, would have probably, had lots of broken bones. I was like, it just all seemed very petulant, didn't it? Because they were getting beat. Hurry up. Well, it's not going to change the score if I hurry up. You're still getting battered, mate.
The bit that I find most hilarious about all of it, golf is probably the most gentlemanly sport in the world. So watching people argue at golf, like watching people argue at chess, it just doesn't work, does it? You can't get angry at golf.
It'd have been the least violent fight in the world. It'd have been a fight that you could have showed on BBC One, wouldn't it? It was that. It would have been that time. Yeah, it'd have been a post-watershed fight. You could have just shown it because there wouldn't have been any blood or fighting. There'd have just been someone throwing grass and the other guy throwing a tee, and it'd have just all mellowed out. But it was just so pathetic, wasn't it? Over nothing, and it was like, I think it was. I don't know if it was Fergie or Wenger. If you're willing to fight off the pitch, be willing to fight on the pitch, and if you're America, at least put a fight up playing golf before you're going to put a fight up sort of between holes 15 and 16. Don't trot down the course hitting everything into bunkers and every other part of the ground possible, and then decide you're going to fight afterwards because you're so rubbish.
And also, like you said, it was a 20-yard fight from green to tee. It was all over.
It's one of them where it's like your mate's holding you back and his mate's holding his back, and you're just going at each other across shoulders. You kind of needed the two friends to step aside and just see what happened, because nobody were going to do anything, were they? There was like 20 million people watching. It was just pathetic, absolutely pathetic. And
then it got even more pathetic because Rory McIlroy said a bad word, so Sky had to apologise for him saying a bad word.
Well, nobody apologised on my coverage because I live in a country where you don't have to apologise for swearing. But I would presume that somebody had to at your end.
Repeatedly apologise for the offensive language that you might have heard.
It was so funny at my end is when they showed the replay, they didn't beep it out. They replayed the whole swearing, which I thought was quite funny myself. Again, if you're offended by swearing in 2025, it's time you went and had a shower and played at traffic. It's ridiculous.
And it was so funny. I'm going to repeat it. So basically, I can't remember what hole it is. The crowd have been getting at Rory all afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
Getting childish.
It's the proximity as well, isn't it?
Yeah, because
you're trying to play in the build-up, you're walking between the holes, fine. But as they go to play, just have a bit of etiquette and shut up. Let people play the shot and then get back onto it.
So Rory then decided to turn around and say, shut the fuck up, because I'm going to put this ball within 2 feet of the hole, basically.
Yeah. And I said at the time to the person who's here, I said, if you're going to say that, you have to then play that shot, don't you? Yeah, what you can't do is say that and be 35 foot from the hole on this shot. So the best way to do it is to say that and then put the ball where you did. Because really, what are they going to say now? Nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some good banter. The guy who turned to Rory McIlroy before the first tee and he was doing up his button and he said to him, you don't need a top button to choke, Rory. And everyone laughed. And I thought it was quite funny.
It was, yeah.
That's the kind of thing. But they've just gone to a point where we're losing. So we're just going to start shouting profanities at people that make no sense. And they're going to have no effect at all, because what Rory's going to do is put it 3 foot from the hole and win.
I mean, and some of it's not even making any sense. So some of the Americans all of a sudden started shouting freedom at Rory McIlroy. He's not Scottish. He's nothing to do with bloody Wallace and the lot behind the wall. He's jumping Northern Irish. It's just...
Well, yeah.
The Ryder Cup itself is brilliant. I can't wait for the singles at... Oh, you won't see it. Because it's in America, the singles don't start around midnight for you, I believe.
Yeah, we've just been talking about this. We were trying to come up with a plan so we could watch it. We haven't got one.
Go to bed now. Get to
well, midnight. This was our plan, but we're playing golf in the morning at 8 o'clock. So it's not really going to work. So,
no.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think, I mean, the Ryder Cup I watch every 2 years. I think it's one of the best sporting weekends there is.
No, I agree. I've never watched it in any length before other than keeping an eye on it. And I think it's absolutely brilliant. The atmosphere is brilliant when people can just have a bit of fun, have a bit of banter.
You expect a hostile atmosphere as the away team, but we've gone from hostile to just petulant and silly.
Hostile's fine, isn't it? A little bit in between the holes, a little bit of booing, a little bit of banter, shouting things at each other's fine. But when people are going to play the shot, just shut up. I mean, did you see the guy get ejected? Was it
Yes.
Lowry, was it? Who
Yeah.
pointed and went, get him out, and he'd gone. I'm like, exactly. Why would you get yourself kicked out? You've paid a couple of $1,000 to be there. Just
the other bit I found
up.
funny. So Rory McIlroy's waiting to putt, and they wouldn't shut up. Now, putting in golf course, you have to be silent around. It's just a done thing. So he just refused
snooker,
to play.
Isn't it, when you're playing snooker, you just be quiet when the shot's been put.
So he refused to play. So they got louder. I was like, you're not quite understanding the cycle here, because the more you talk, the less he plays, the less, and it's just pointless.
And the more you need this, you need this, not him. He's all right. He's winning. He's not been beaten for years in this competition.
And also, he's quite rich. Doesn't need to play. Doesn't care if you're interested. Doesn't need your approval. He's not bothered.
Yeah, they're just.
He's not doing it for the participation.
The idea of an atmosphere is that between the holes, you can be a bit raucous. Maybe, you can shout the odd thing. The atmosphere's there. You're cheering the team on. That's the idea of the atmosphere. They've just gone the other way, and they're just trying to be abusive to the European team. But they're not that clever, are they? So they're kind of, they're sort of saying things that probably in a slang that the Europeans don't even understand. So it's not offensive, and it's not working.
Well, no, because all you've done is rile up Rory and Shane, and then they play better.
Yeah, they've just basically pulled Europe together even more, and are playing probably the best golf some of them have ever played. I mean, some of the shots have been ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, it's all pretty much over by the shouting, isn't it? You would have thought, but
yeah, I mean, one of the best stats from this weekend, you won't be fully aware of it, as I said, with you not watching that much golf. Scotty Scheffler, world number 1. Is the first person, I think, since 1970 something to lose
1975 and 1979
matches in a row. Well done.
We were talking about this because Scotty Scheffler earned $62 million in the last 12 months playing golf. He's the best golfer in the world. And the 15th or the 16th, he put it in the rough between the bunkers that far away from the hole that they couldn't. Europe got 2 shots to win it. I was like, well, he's not that good. Obviously, he is, but he isn't
clearly
today.
Not a team player.
No, didn't particularly like the idea, did he?
And there's quite a lot of the Americans that are not team players. They have a bit of an ego problem. Bryson DeChambeau appears to a very good golfer and can really take the crowd with him. But is he too much of an ego to bring the other players with him? Does it become more about him than the team? And I think,
like I said, they're the Man United right now, aren't they?
Justin Thomas is very good at rallying people around him and rallying the crowd and rallying the team, because he's got the passion for it, but yet it doesn't seem to go over into arrogance, whereas some of the Americans, unfortunately, goes from passion to arrogance, and then I just go, no, I hope you lose.
Again, you can only be arrogant again if you're playing well, can't you? You can't be arrogant when you're rubbish, because that doesn't work. Like I say, for Rory McIlroy to say that, you've then got to go and play that shot. And for Rory McIlroy, he had the ability to play that shot. You can't go and say that and then be as bad as you are. You can't be DeChambeau fighting with people coming off a hole and then just rubbish, because that doesn't work, does it? You kind of.
And the worst part for the Americans, bear in mind, I mean, they won game 3 last night, which they were losing with 2 holes to play. And the night before, Rory missed a 5-footer. It could have actually been 13.5, 2.5 this so far. It could have been that bad for the Americans.
Well, I said, I mean, even yesterday in the first, because obviously I only see the first half of the game. They were down in all 4. And I'm like, they're just not putting up a fight here, are they? The 4, I mean, I know they didn't lose, but they were down in all 4 games. And I'm like, at no point have Europe been under threat here. They may end up losing 1 or 2 of them, but they're always leading.
Well, Europe have won every session. We've played 4 sessions, won them all. We've won 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, and a 2.5, 1.5. The 2.5, 1.5 should have been a 3-1. And the 3-1 last night probably should have been a 4-0. So that's what I mean. It could have been a 1.5 further. It actually could have been over. This could have been what are we on, 11.5? Some 12.5?
1.5, 4.5, is it?
Something like that. Can't fully remember. But yeah, this basically could have been pretty much over before we even hit a ball today. So Bryson could have, gone and shouted at whoever he wanted, and actually just look at the scoreboard. Losing lots. Many points.
Getting annihilated, aren't they? They're absolutely getting annihilated.
But yes, that has been most of my weekend. But we made reference to something at the very, very start of this episode, long before I had high blood pressure, that we won't be around next week. So we will be a 2-week break between this episode and next episode. Would you like to tell the good people, oh, probably about 3 of them have got this far into the episode, but that's by the by, we'll indulge ourselves, why you're not here next weekend?
I'm going to nip off and watch the Formula One live in Singapore, and because I'm not a profound podcaster, I can't vlog it from the track because I wouldn't know how to fucking do that. Most people in this day and age would be doing a live vlog and recording it and uploading it to the channel. I don't know how to do that, so I'll just tell you about it when I get back. That's the only way I can do it. I might take some photos. Most of them will be pretty bad because I'm trying not to pay attention. There'll be a couple of videos of a car driving past. I won't know who it is.
That you'll miss.
Yes, I'm going to be in Singapore where it's forecast to be 78% humidity on Saturday.
Yes, it's quite
and
humid.
I've been told, obviously, I'm not particularly up on how much humidity that references. That's bad.
Yes,
it's not good. So
it's going to be
I'm pretty
warm.
hot. Yes. It's going to be quite sticky.
It's also at night.
3 days. I'm at the end of turn. I'm at turn 1 into turn 2 in the grandstand. Yes, got the decent ticket. So Lando should probably be somewhere between 3rd and 11th.
He'll be in the wall with you at turn 1, lap 1.
I mean, it'd save me watching him for 57 laps do absolutely nothing, wouldn't it? Because that's what happened in Baku. We just got nowhere.
All I would say is if you're first time traveling out there, be careful of Singapore. They do have different rules as it is the Eastern world, not the Western world. So be careful around alcohol and things like that. Don't get yourself into trouble in Singapore because it's quite warm and you don't want to be staying there longer than you need to. It's going to be sweaty. It might rain because they always tell us it might rain in Singapore.
It is forecast rain, but it seems like in Singapore, I'm guessing because of the climate, they forecast rain every day because it's a bit like UK. They just don't know when it's coming.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be quite a hot weekend. All I'm saying is I'm not driving on the car, so I'm not in the worst situation.
I'm going to ask you a question that I know you won't be able to answer, but I'm asking it just for comedy value. What time is the race in Singapore?
Same time as it would be in Perth. 8 p.m. 9 p.m.
So it's not the middle of the night then, right? Okay, so it's not like a midnight thing for Singapore.
No. It's the actual. Yeah, I think it's 8 or 9 p.m. start. It's the same time as it is here. So yeah.
Oh, is it the same time zone?
Singapore's on the same time zone. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
So
okay.
It's 8 or 9 p.m. the race start. I think first practice on Friday. I've got to be in the ground.
In the ground.
Probably not use that term again because they'll not let me in. I've got to be in the track for 4:30 is local time. And I don't land while 12, so I've got a bit of a shuffle on to get from the airport to the hotel and then to the track. But yeah, we'll get there. We're there for all 3 days. It should be good, and I will try and get some. Now I've said it and I've laughed at myself. I'm gonna try and get some footage for us to upload here. That's my aim. I'm gonna send it to you.
It'll be horrendous.
It will be, but it'll be funny.
He has a car. No, there isn't.
Me trying to vlog something and record something while I'm there is going to be hilarious.
That would be brilliant.
No one likes good content. They want funny content. This will be funny because it'll be, camera's gone. I'll be nowhere near it. So
the only one you will catch is Stroll because he moved that slow. Even you can catch him on a camera.
Yeah, was it Britain? Where did the red and white car flip upside down into the netting at turn 1?
That was at Silverstone, turn 1, 2022.
In my head, I got it down to being Singapore, but I'm sure the footage I've seen was daytime, so it couldn't have been.
You were there.
I was round the other side of the track, weren't I?
Yeah. So it couldn't have been Singapore because you've never been to Singapore.
It's multiple years ago. I can remember the accident, and I just couldn't. For in my head, I'd always got it down as being Singapore, but I've referenced that couldn't have been right. I can't remember turn 1 at Singapore.
The event.
Where's turn 1 at what's Singapore? Why can I not remember it?
Pretty short run, and it's a left, right into a left. So it's a chicane start that goes into a hairpin.
Oh, yeah, it's a good start then for us, isn't it? Because we'll get
especially if it is a bit rainy.
So we're on turn 2, looking at turn 2. Turn 1 comes down, turn 2, and then out of turn 3. You'll have got a great view.
I mean, if you go back 2017, 2018, when Vettel decided to try and put everybody in a hedge, you would have seen quite a lot of action there because obviously Alonso went off,
Yeah,
Vettel went off,
I do
Raikkonen went
remember.
off.
I couldn't in my head envisage what Singapore's first turn looked like, but I do now. It's where they tend to, a lot of people cut the corner on the right as they go into turn 2 at the start because they can't
Yes.
all make the corner. Oh, yes.
Yes.
So, yeah, we should have a great view of it.
Yes, and you'll be able to take some pictures of Singapore so we can all see that you've failed miserably to take photos of Singapore.
Honestly, I'm going to be the world's greatest vlogger next weekend.
I mean, for people that don't know, this is a man who is the world's worst traveller. We went to the 2006 World Cup in Germany. Bear in mind, at this point, we're both living in England. Germany isn't that far away. You cross through 3 countries to get there. You got lost in every one of them because this man was guiding and navigating.
We actually did a complete circle of the motorway in Holland, which was around Holland, and got back to the same checkpoint and paid the same toll woman for the same journey as we'd paid about 2.5 hours earlier going past her. And she even remembered us.
We set off on Friday night from the north of England
missed the game
to get to Gelsenkirchen at 3 p.m, I believe it was, on the Saturday. So that gave us best part of 24 hours to do a few hundred miles. We got there 10 minutes before kickoff.
Yeah, so I could have missed some of the racing. There is, I mean, fortunately for this, it's based on the airline and not me. But
okay,
yeah,
I'm going to stop you there. You emigrated to the side of the world 2 years ago. You were late for every flight, and you held up every flight.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So don't blame the airline.
In my defense, I didn't know that you remembered that, and I didn't know you were going to tell everybody that. So,
so don't blame the airlines for your.
Look, I'll be there at some point in the weekend. Airplane. The chances are I'm leaving here Thursday dinner time for a Friday morning flight. That's how serious I am about making this. The chances are I will have got there before the start of the Grand Prix.
I should hope the race in 4 days.
It's only a 5-hour flight. I reckon even if I missed my plane, I could probably jog it before the race started. I should make the race. I may miss some of practice. You just don't know, dear. I mean, I might die of heat exhaustion on Friday afternoon and not even see it anyway, so God knows what'll happen.
Oh, but that has been an entertaining, if nothing else, last 55 minutes of people's lives. As I say, we won't be here next weekend because he's going to fail to get to Singapore and miss a Grand Prix that he's setting off a week and a half in advance. But once again, thank you all very much for watching and listening and putting up with us. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. He's off to fail to get to Singapore. I'm off to watch the Ryder Cup, and we shall speak to you all again very, very soon.